up. Like when I was growing up, it was all Mac Dre, you know, things like that, Bay Area, Too Short. And I mean, I'm not sure, like, I you know, if we want to talk about is rap good or is it bad, should you listen, should you not?
Yeah.
It's questionable.
Yeah, it is questionable because you also, like, I listen to a lot of dudes like MC8. You know, MC8 was like, for me, I was like, that's who I'm trying to be like, you know what I mean? But when you listen to the words, it's just like, man, like, I'm a young kid being influenced by a dude who's talking about shooting, killing, drugs, women, all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, when you think about it, it's like, that music can really influence your way of thinking. You know what I mean?
This is a real B&H
You kind of
customer.
just, you know, that's like, that's, you know, you want to start doing stuff like that because, like you said, you want to fit in. So I start listening to music like that and, you know, trying to follow what the dudes behind me are doing. You know what I mean? But in reality, you really got to check yourself and kind of be like, is that who I'm supposed to be? Like, I got a house in Roseville. I got a dad. I got a brother. You know, they're not doing that kind of stuff, so why am I doing it? But it's all because, you know, when you're angry and you have all these emotions, you let that music kind of influence your thought process. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that.
That's true, because, like, I'll pay attention to myself depending on, I don't know, like, a lot of times music will either, like, bring you back memories that you feel like are cool or put you in the mood or whatever. Like, I don't think anybody would go and, I don't know, whoop somebody's ass listening to, like, opera or something. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're going to have a certain type of music. It puts you in the mood, right? It's your feelings and stuff like that. But, like, from what I understand initially, like, rap, it wasn't really a violent thing, you know?
Yeah.
It almost seems like the violence came out once they started that NWA stuff with the, who was it? Like, Ice Cube?
Ice Cube, Eazy-E, you know, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, you know, when they did Death Row Records and Suge Knight came in the game, and it was just, you know, it turned more from, like you said, like, it was like, before it was like lyrical passion. It was like, we're trying to do poetry. We're trying to write what we see every day. And then it turned into just like, well, we're going to rap about this, but we're going to start talking crap about this other dude. And then we're going to go fight and kill each other and then rap about how we killed each other. And then that just, like, I feel like it just escalated to a place that it didn't need to go. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, what happened? Like, I look at dudes like Kendrick Lamar. Like, he raps about his environment and he's lyrically, I feel like, on a different level. But then it's like you get other dudes like Playboy Cardi and they just mumble the whole time. And it's like, bro, like, you're
The mumble rap.
Yeah, like, and now people, I feel like, now listen to music for the beat more than they do the words. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like,
and, like, the rhythm and, like, you know, start to, like, whatever. But it's crazy because, like, there's a market for the mumble rap.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so, because you're like, what the hell? Like, I can't even understand what this guy's talking about. But
he said Kevin Durant 80 times in a row and made $1 million. And it's like, I'm so confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I mean, even Young Thug, you know, like, most of his shit, you don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
I can't understand half the stuff he's saying. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I hear it, but I'm like, what'd you say? Like, I get the rhythm, but I don't hear the words you just said.
Yeah,
you know?
well, you know, because, like, that's what I was saying from what I understand, and I was watching a video on YouTube. We could look at it really quick so you can see what you think, but the birth of hip-hop, it says it came from, like, DJs and stuff that started, you know, they were doing DJing, and then they started, like, talking over the beat, and then saw that people were, like, feeling it, and then they started, like, going in even more. Watch this little video. Let's check it out and then comment on it and see what you think. And it's pretty much about the birth of hip hop. That's what they call it. Let me turn up the volume on it.
Born New Yorker known in August 1973, a young Jamaican-born New Yorker known as DJ Kool Herc threw a party in the South Bronx. With a pair of turntables, he improvised a technique that isolated and repeated musical breaks. That technique would lay the foundation for a genre known as hip-hop. Hip-hop music emerged from house parties in the Bronx and spread.
Hey, that looks like it was cracking right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Imagine being over there.
That looks like it was going crazy.
It was popping. He got the fan outside and everything. Look at that.
Like wildfire between friends and neighbors at block parties. The new sound was electrifying.
In the schoolyard during recess, someone would have a boombox. And then someone would start rhyming. You didn't have recorded versions of hip-hop at that time.
Within a few years, it had become an underground cultural movement, and its distribution was homemade.
You couldn't purchase albums or records, and you couldn't hear hip-hop on the radio. The only way that you could participate in the culture musically was through these cassette tapes, which would circulate all throughout the city.
That's long gone now.
As its influence deepened and broadened, the music spread from the underground onto the radio. In 1979, a
used to
group
have a
from
Walkman.
suburban New
Break
Jersey
dancing, look at that.
released Rapper's Delight, one of the first hip-hop records.
Yeah, it's a guess right here.
Yeah.
Test, I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try. to
See,
beat
the rap
beat.
used to not be
The
violent.
Sugar
Yeah.
Hill Gang's hit was just the beginning. As hip-hop evolved, it became a passion shared by millions of young Americans who used it to articulate their identity and their politics, creating a vibrant, multicultural community
On the
across
cardboard.
the country.
For
Our generation of young people, we had to find new ways to communicate, just getting on the records and speaking about the truth.
Its lyrics reflected the social and economic conditions of the inner cities as seen through the eyes of the people who lived there.
This is when they started getting political.
Yeah. This is like
Transition.
well, yeah, this is like what I was listening to a lot before I got into
Say
the
what?
other stuff.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I
But you
keep
see how it
going.
went from like
I think
party
it was
to
Chuck
like
D who said,
spreading a
it's
message.
CNN of the black community.
Kinda-
It's actually reporting on all of these things that we've experienced in poetry form and musical form.
Man, Flavor Flav, bro.
For real, when the hell that?
Rocking that clock.
Yeah,
In
but
2017, hip-hop surpassed rock as America's #1 stream genre for
That's
the
crazy,
first
huh?
time ever.
you wouldn't think that
Decades
because
after
Yeah.
its birth,
it like what? There's only like 13% African American in the country, right? Because that's their music, right?
Yeah.
But then like you get such a higher number of like a mixed population.
Yeah. Even NWA was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's like it doesn't,
Yeah.
those two genres don't even correlate with each other.
Well, I guess I'm thinking because if it surpassed rock, you would think. I think like most white people like rock, from what I know, unless they like country, right? I don't know. We'll look at some stats because I got some stats on this one. I haven't checked them out yet. We'll check them out together. But
hip-hop has grown from its underground origins in the Bronx to become one of the most popular genres of music throughout the world.
all right, so that was over, but. It was, I mean, kind of interesting, and then I didn't mean to generalize all the white people saying they listen to country music and and the rock and roll, right? But